Welcome to Toronto, Canada's largest city and a place where history meets modern energy. In this self-guided walk, I'll take you through some of Toronto's most iconic sites, with a few tasty detours along the way. We begin at St. Lawrence Market, the beating heart of Toronto since 1803. Inside, it's a feast for the senses. Local produce, cheeses, meats, even kangaroo. I tried their famous Peameal bacon sandwich. Thick, juicy slices of bacon in a soft bun with honey mustard. Simple, hearty, and unmistakably Toronto. Don't miss the butter tart too, a sweet, gooey bite of Canadian nostalgia. Just a short walk away is the Gooderham building, Toronto's own Flatiron. Built in 1892, its red brick and copper turret are striking, especially with modern towers in the background. Unfortunately, the Gooderham building was closed for refurbishment when I visited, but I still got to enjoy its clever mural on the back wall, an optical illusion that plays tricks on the eye. Then I took a breather at Berczy Park just behind it. And yes, that's a dog fountain, with 27 cast iron pups, a cat, and a giant bone on top. It's whimsical, charming, and a hit with dog lovers. For hockey fans, the Hockey Hall of Fame is a must. It's housed in a grand 1885 bank building full of trophies, jerseys, and memorabilia. I skipped going inside. The 25 Canadian dollars entrance felt steep, especially if you're not a hockey buff. Now onto Yonge Street, Toronto's central artery. Dating back to the 1790s, it's now a lively stretch packed with shops, entertainment, and people. After major sports wins, it turns into a spontaneous celebration zone. At Queen and Bay stands Old City Hall, a Romanesque beauty completed in 1899. Its soaring clock tower is iconic, and inside, stained glass windows tell the story of Canada's past. I visited during Doors Open Toronto, but the queues were long, so I admired it from the outside. Tip: head to nearby Nathan Phillips Square to snap a selfie with the famous Toronto sign. Beside it is the new City Hall, designed by Finnish architect Viljo Rivel. The curved towers cradle a saucer-like chamber, earning it the nickname the Eye of Government. Controversial at first, it's now one of the city's most loved landmarks. The Eaton Centre is Toronto's largest mall and a popular rest stop. Even if you're not into shopping, it's a good place for a coffee or a quick toilet break. Tucked behind the Eaton Centre is Trinity Square. It's home to the Church of the Holy Trinity, a peaceful spot with a labyrinth, fountains, and heritage buildings. It can feel a little rough around the edges, but it's safe and full of character. Next up is the Art Gallery of Ontario, or AGO. With over 120,000 works, it's home to Canada's largest art collection. From Inuit carvings to European masters and modern sculptures, there's something for everyone. Admission is 30 Canadian dollars, a bit pricey, so plan your visit wisely. Toronto's Chinatown at Spadina and Dundas is lively, colorful, and full of great food. I actually prefer it to Vancouver's. It's bigger, cleaner, and buzzing with life. Groceries, herbal medicine, dim sum, pho, it's all here. Just around the corner is Kensington Market, eclectic, artsy, and full of surprises. Here's where I found Crumbs Jamaican patties. Flaky, buttery crusts filled with rich beef or fragrant curry chicken.
Thank you so much.
Take your time with one of them.
At $6.59, they're one of the best bites in the city. That's a wrap on my self-guided introduction to Toronto. It's a city of contrasts, of cultures, and unexpected delights. Thanks for walking with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you've been to Toronto or plan to visit. Until next time, walk safe and stay curious.